thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
For now, let's start with who is Ibrahim, and let's talk about your journey, how it started, and how it came across as well.
So, I'm still in a pursuit of understanding who is Ibrahim. So, if we want to go from a philosophical point of view, there's a question that is basically never ending, because for me, it's always a journey of self-discovery. And this is why maybe everything I do manifest in a way that is about self-expression. So unlike most people, I don't define myself by what I do. If I want to give you a short answer, I'll give you, I'm the CEO of the Smash Room. I also run Jokesaside, but this is not exactly what it happens to be. These are the two vehicles that I have today, for example, that I use to express myself in and also contribute to other people, to enable other people to express themselves. Long answer short, my name is Ibrahim Abudyak. I would like to call myself Mr. Colorful because I just love colors. I love to express myself through fashion, colors, being different and unique. I co-founded the Smash Room more than 5 years ago with my best friends Hiba, and it's now a thriving business in the UAE and soon hopefully in the rest of the world. I also created Jokesaside, which is the streetwear brand out of Dubai that's going to go international. Jokesaside is more about being comfortable in your own skin, letting go of whatever judgment, stereotypes that people have on you, and finding yourself happy with whatever you do. So we create clothing that makes you feel sort of like smile, or let other people when they see it smile. Or no, don't take life seriously, because life is too short for that. I'm not saying that everybody have their own responsibilities, everybody have to make a living, all of that stuff, but why can't we also have fun while doing that? We can always talk about struggles and things, and that's fine, but we also get fixated on that and forget to have fun in the process. So I always, for example, when I go to the Smash Room and I meet my team, and I would like always to remind them to have fun while they're doing their job. And I always tell them, if you don't have fun with it, if you don't feel like having fun today, don't come today. It's fine. You can stay at home. If you don't feel like your energy is down today, it's cool. As long as, if you feel like forced to do that thing, then you're not going to be good at it. And the message of the Smash Room and Jokesaside, both of them, is for people to be themselves and express themselves in two different ways. So the Smash Room is more of like this place where you can either have fun or release some stress, or if you're going through a hard time, you have this outlet that you can release. And Jokesaside is sort of like what you see today is clothing, but it's more of a lifestyle. And you buy into the lifestyle by basically becoming part of sort of an ever-growing community. We started only about 4 or 5 months ago, but our community is growing and growing every day. And this is who I am basically today. If you ask me maybe after 6 months, I would be probably adding something else to this, or I don't know. But yeah, this is life today, and this is who I am.
So let's focus your life before Smash Room and before Jokesaside happened. What was it, and what led to the change there?
I was a boring guy, like a really, really boring. I think I am judging myself right now, maybe, but
being honest,
from a style perspective, definitely not something I am proud of. I still had that spirit of being a rebel and wanting to create something different for me. The difference is I didn't take action on it at that time. So I was in corporate life. It was pretty comfortable. I had a really good job, a good paying job with all that benefits that come with it. I was also married to somebody from my own country, the traditional kind of stuff. And then all of a sudden, these two things gone. Like I got fired from my corporate job, and then after that, I got divorced. And that is a major trigger of the change. Obviously, I knew I needed a change in my life before that. I think it's just the universe pushed me to do it, because I was always saying, oh, it will happen at some point, or I'll do it one day. But then you get too comfortable with what you do. And again, being in a corporate job, it's paying off your bills, you live some sort of comfortable life, and you get used to mediocrity. But when you set your standards high, you don't accept that mediocrity anymore. You cannot accept that anymore. And this is why, for example, my divorce was my decision, even though I got fired like a month before that. And then here's me deciding to get out of a 5-year kind of marriage. And I was like, people around me were like, Ibrahim lost his shit. He is not thinking straight. Or some other people were like, oh, this guy has got some black magic kind of stuff, you know. He's not okay. He needs some help. Even family members at that point were like, what is wrong with you? Because like everything seems to be collapsed at the same time. Even to me, I thought about that as a collapse. Thinking about it today, it's the biggest breakthrough of my life at that point. So you need to reach to a point where everything sort of like maybe get destroyed, to realize that whatever you were clinging, like you're holding on, is the same thing that is holding you from becoming you. You don't see it maybe at that time, because all you think about, oh, this is horrible, this is life happens, everything is against you. No, nobody's against you. Like maybe nobody even gives a shit about you,
because it's your own problems.
It's not. Yes, it's you against you. Whatever happens is all here. And that is the biggest breakthrough in someone's life. The thing is, you don't have to wait for it all to get broken for you to fix it. It's just, this is my story, this is how it happened for me. But most of the time, if you are awake, you have that self awareness. You know that you're drifting off. You know that your soul is not satisfied, and then you should do something about it. You don't have to wait for a dramatic life change to happen. It's just happened for me that way, and I'm very grateful to it. At that time, it wasn't like that, because I felt like everything it's just so dramatic, and oh, how can I pay my bills now? How can I pay the credit card? How can I do this? How can I do that? How can I stay without a visa? All these questions. But then you figure it out. I never had a salary, like with the meaning of a salary, for over 5 years. I detached myself from the need of certainty that people have today. I thrive in uncertainty. The more uncertain the situation is, the better I do. It's actually sometimes I think when things get too comfortable, I'm like, no, something is wrong. I'm shaking things off. Something is wrong. Everything is going so well, predictable. What is this? No, I don't want it this way. I don't know, sort of addiction, maybe, but it's always for me a way that kept me going for new things, kept me creating. And since we're talking about the creative energy today, and how can we create things that not just makes you feel satisfied, but also helps others, and at the same time makes money for you, you have to be in tune with yourself. And sometimes when you think about, there's a lot of self-doubt that have been built in us that comes from our parents, comes from our upbringings, come from our school, all that stuff. You need to unlearn all of that. And that unlearning process is one of the hardest and never stops. You will be shocked at the amount of learnings that we have gone through up until, let's say, 7 years old, and how much that affects us today. You know, everybody does their own things. You could do therapy, you could do, I don't know, you could you could do meditation, whatever your thing is, but you gotta work on finding those limiting beliefs, get rid of them. And then this is where you get in tune with yourself. This is why maybe artists are more like, they're more expressive because they understand what is going on with their mind and they're just putting it into work.
I think you understand like emotions, right? Like, you understand how things feel. Like, like different, they really come inside from outside. You feel different, right?
Yeah.
I think that's where the artist value come across, that they're able to show feelings and emotion in something which is just, for you maybe a picture or an image, but for the person who created it, it's an emotion that flows with them.
Yeah, that's right. I like that, exactly. And to a lot of people, it's like, oh, well, people actually like it. It is the wrong way to talk about things or to create things. If this is the first question you gotta ask yourself, well, people like it, then you are asking yourself the wrong questions, especially for creatives. You do things, you do you, and then people who align with your vision, understand the values that you're bringing, understand your message, will find you and will find your work and they will buy from you. But if you just gonna be, you want to blend in with everybody else, you're not gonna go far, because then what separates you from the crowd? And I think this is a big trap for creatives, because like, oh, I want to create something, but I am afraid people will judge me, or I'm afraid people will not like it. I'm afraid nobody will buy it. So what? It's okay. You create it for yourself first, and then again, by trying and trying and trying, eventually someone would see your work, value it, and they will pay for it. It's just like, create your niche, find your own flavor, and just stick to it. And I feel like for me, this is something that I have been sort of like focusing on in the last few years. Ironically, what I've found is that I am into a lot of stuff. And sometimes I get into something and I try it and I focus on it for a bit, and then I don't enjoy it anymore and I leave it. To a lot of people, you failed at this. Fine, if you want to call it that way. But I live life with no regrets. So if I was into something, I tried it, and it didn't work, perfect. It's fine. I move on to the next thing. I don't really attach much emotionally to that thing, because otherwise you're gonna get into the self-judgment and you become self-critical. But I wouldn't want to live life when I would say, oh, I wish I tried that thing. Oh, I wish I did that experience. I wish I got into that business. There's no wishy-washy stuff. If I want to do it, I'll just go ahead and do it. And then it works. If it doesn't work, fine, move on to the next one.
That's very true, right? Because things you never know, there's never certainty. You're trying something new which you have not done, and probably you will suck in that. Like if you try something new today, which you've never done before, from right away, you're not going to be the best person in that. It will take some time and energy, right? So you have to take that leap of faith.
Yeah.
And that comes to art, that comes to business, anything. you'll never have full information to begin something.
Yeah.
It's always going to be some areas or loopholes that you have to figure out while doing it.
Mm-hmm. That's right. And we come from that background of being always self-critical, and for example, even personal. Like I'm always, even until today, find myself sometimes falling into the same trap of being hard on myself. And I'm like, why is that? Why am I not doing what I'm supposed to do, or why I'm not where I want to be, for example? But it's a journey.
Yeah.
You have to enjoy the journey, not the destination. It's never about the destination. Yeah. And you need constant reminders to yourself that it's never about the destination. If you don't enjoy the journey, you find yourself reach to that destination, but then your soul is empty.
Yeah.
It's like, shit, I reached there, I was happy for a moment, and that happiness is gone. And now what should I do? And this is, for example, a lot happens with those who get rich really quick, and then they think they're gonna be happy, and then they get depressed even more.
Yeah.
So it's not really about, for example, getting that position, or reaching that amount of money, or getting that title, or whatever it is. It's about enjoying the journey and knowing that by doing this, you're creating a difference in someone's life, if that's what makes you feel happy. Or for example, you're doing something that makes you happy as a person. If not, then I don't know why you're wasting your life doing this. Yeah, we would argue again about money and cost of living and all of that stuff. But here we go. There's a lot of creatives who have made a living doing what they love and enjoy. Why do you think you can't do that? We're all similar, right? We're all humans, where we have the same capacity in terms of like limitless potential. The only limit that we have is just what we place on our minds.
Right.
So if you want to do something, just go ahead and fucking do it.
That's like, one sentence to tell, just do it.
Yeah.
There's no other answer.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Yeah. It's not a commercial for Nike. But
Yeah. But we add the fucking, right? So it makes sense.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it makes sense.
I think that's spicy. Yes.
Yeah. So now let's talk about Smash Room. So how did this happen? Like, were you ever planned about this, or just happens like after that, or after things move about?
So nothing really planned. So what I planned is never to go back to corporate life. This is what I planned. So once I got fired, I decided that I don't want to get a job anymore, and I want to start my own journey with entrepreneurship. I started a business that is related to used car trading, because I had that background in cars. It didn't work well. I mean, it was actually profitable. I just shut it down because I wasn't in the business with the wrong partners. And that's something you learn from a lot. And then there's a few other things that I started, like smaller kind of activities, didn't work again. And yes, in between you would maybe spend time, you spend money, you spend energy on those things, but don't discount the information, the experience, the learnings, because this is actually how we learn from life. You go to school, and in school they teach you to remember the right answers, and this is how you get marks. This is how you get evaluated. It's bullshit, because when you go out in life, there is no right or wrong answers. The only way to figure it out is to go ahead and do something, and then you would know. If you didn't succeed at it, then you would sit with yourself and understand, okay, what happened here, and how can I, what kind of lessons I could learn from this experience. Okay, if you go back and do the same thing, then you're crazy, not in a good way.
You did not learn, right?
Yeah, but then it means like you didn't really reflect on your experience. You didn't sort of like took inventory of what happened and decided about, I have to do this, I don't have to do that. If you repeat your mistakes, then you're an idiot. I mean, like, but And I was at some point doing that too, until you realize, okay, hey, this is not working anymore. Let's do something different about it, or let's approach things differently. So all really depends on the mindset. So how do you look at things? What kind of perspective you look at things will change a lot about how do you behave, how do you do things in your life. So the smash room happened at a time where I was really looking for something different, and again, going through that background of being fired and divorced, I went to London for Tony Robbins' Unleash the Power Within, where you also walk on fire, like burning coal.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's such a liberating experience because it opens your mind to your limitless potentials.
Everyone have to walk on that?
Yes, and we were like 10,000 people.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So that is one of the reasons. One of the enablers that helped me change my mindset. And you come back with, as I said at the beginning, you come back with higher standards. And these high standards, you don't accept the bullshit that you accepted before in your life. If you are in an abusive relationship, you don't accept that shit anymore. If people would use you and you were fine with that, you don't accept that anymore.
Yeah.
If you were okay with being mediocre and average at everything, that is not going to be the same anymore. It starts with a decision. I am not that person anymore. That is my standards, and I don't accept anything below that. This is how it starts.
Yes.
So yeah, I met my now business partner, a friend Hiba, at a group in Dubai after the Tony Robbins program. She was there in London. I didn't know her at that time, and she talked about her story of when she lost her grandmother, and how she tried coping with different techniques, doing yoga, kickboxing, all that stuff. Nothing worked. She took a baseball bat and a printer to the backyard, smashed them, and felt so good. But then everybody telling her how stupid and silly this idea is, and you can't make it in business. And up until recently, everybody was questioning whether we can survive or not, or whether this is actually a serious business or not. Well, we proved wrong, all of that, because we're now, first of all, we're a 5-year plus business, and that is on its own an achievement, I'd say, because there's a lot of statistics that tell you startups, 95% of startups fail within the first 5 years.
Yeah. First year 90, after 4 years 99.
Right. Yeah. So we're maybe the 1% now.
Yeah.
So that is something. COVID is another thing.
Yeah, exactly.
And surviving and being a brick and mortar business, having to shut down for all that time, with no income, and we don't come from a big family group, or don't have external investors, or all of that stuff. But we survived and we thrived after. So me and Hiba saw the vision for the brand and for the business, and we decided to do it. We agreed, who does what and what do we do and all of that things, and then we started taking action. We didn't even have the money to do it at that time. So, but we managed to raise enough money just to open the door for the first day. And the rest is history, because on the first day we got 18 customers, and since then the business itself is sufficient on its own. And now we just opened in Abu Dhabi as a franchise. So our franchise partner in Abu Dhabi is also a female business entrepreneur who believed in the idea and decided to take over Abu Dhabi. And she just opened her first franchise location for the Smash Room brand in Abu Dhabi. 1 out of 3 in the next 4 years. We're looking into India and Saudi for expansion for the next year or 2. And yeah, the sky is the limit. I was in Delhi about 2 weeks ago maybe, and I met brands that coming for a franchise exhibition from the US, from Europe, and I told them such a concept like the smash room around the world. Yes, there are similar ones in, for example, in the US and Canada. There's one in Singapore, there's one in Australia, whatever. But I'm proudly saying that the smash room is the proper concept of them all. No one else actually franchised such a concept. I don't want to call it rage room because we're not a rage room. We're more of a happy room. But this is how they categorize the business. So yeah, the smash room is not a rage room, but if that's a category, we are number one in the world.
So how is it differ from others?
A lot of things. So mostly outside is someone's garage, someone's backyard, or it's a small thing within a bigger like complex or a sport complex, something like that. So it's not sustainable on its own. They don't build strong brands. They compromise safety. This is something that we haven't compromised since the beginning. We're like the safest concept when it comes to breaking stuff around the world again. We can't compromise that even in Dubai. And Dubai is number one in everything. And this is what we wanted to do the same. Create a business that goes in line with the ethos of the city that we live in. This is our city and we claim it ours. And so we're gonna take this concept and show people how it's done. So I told the guys from the US, like, I'm sorry guys, but like we were always looking at you for inspiration before, but I think we have outdone you this time. We've done a much better job than you guys at creating something that is I mean, there's all the business element that you need for a business to succeed at the Smash Room. We have an inventory management system for basically scrap stuff that we buy, but we've developed that. We have a full business operations manual to follow with all the steps that you need to see. So anybody, our franchisees would look at it and it's like, okay, what do I do when this thing happened? And then I follow the process. There's a process for almost everything. So it's not like, oh, okay, I have some stuff here, I have some space, I put them in, I bring people to break stuff, and that's it. No, it's not as that. So there's a lot more to the concept than that. And it's always been about also enabling people to express themselves. So we tell people to, if you want to scream, scream. You want to yell, you want to curse, you want to dance, you want to cry, just do it. That's similar now for like Jokesaside. People would say, oh, there's so many fashion brands out there. Why do you want to start a new one? Because we're not the other fashion. We're not H&M and Zara and stuff. We don't do fast fashion. We create things out of love and passion, and we want people to see that and feel it. We involve artists in the process. We also empower the community of creatives, and we have seen that actually the first adapters of the brands were creatives and artists, DJs to singers to painters to all kind of art and creativity is the people who first got attracted to Jokesaside. We didn't even think it would be like that, but you see how you portray yourself, you do your thing, and then people who align with your vision will find you. They will become your tribe, basically. You build that community. So yeah, maybe you would have showed up and nobody also bought our stuff. It could have happened. But then what happened is the opposite. We launched at Brent Abu Dhabi in the Hype Beast, and we didn't have any product before that. So our day one at Bread was our official first day in business.
Wow. Okay.
And we brought this first collection in there. By the 5th day, we were sold out. The last day of the event, we had like 90% of our inventory gone. So why did people buy our stuff? From a brand that never heard of, from a t-shirt that we sell it for $350, for example, or let's say $100 for a lot of people, $100 for a T-shirt is a lot of money.
Yeah, because when H&M selling for 30-40 bucks.
Exactly.
You know?
But when it is my cost is basically their retail price, because I design them, I make them here. They're locally made. I buy the fabric myself and create the patterns from zero. And all of that, and I also pay artists to create this artwork. So I'm empowering the community as well. I am creating jobs and gigs for creative people in the community, from illustrators to designers to graphic designers to even musicians and all of that stuff. Because even though we're still a startup and we're still like by size small, but we also want to help from the beginning. Because a lot of brands would just discover, after being big and stuff, now we need to support because it's cool to show that we are supporting.
Good marketing effort.
Yeah, exactly. No, we've done that from day zero. And even though, again, we probably still need help, right?
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean that we cannot help others too.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's in our DNA. This is what we want to do, and we want people to feel good about themselves and feel like it's okay if, I love this color, I want to wear this color, for example. Why should I let people judgment stop me from doing that? We lose connection to our inner child, and this is where most of where the fun ends. A lot of the things, sometimes people think, why this is so childish, and I'm like, I don't have that word in my dictionary. There's nothing that you could say it's childish, or this is why, for example, the earrings, the gummy bears everywhere and stuff like that. I love them. This is me. So if you don't like it, it's fine. I understand. But for me, I always try to keep that connection to my inner child strong, and I feel it's stronger than ever today.
Do you think that helped building the brand as well?
Absolutely, yes.
Like in what way?
So the brand is playful. The brand is, and doesn't follow the rules that others would set for you, and this is what people basically see and appreciate. For example, when we built the booth at Bread in Abu Dhabi, me and the team were doing that on our own. We didn't get a contractor to do the booth. We were painting ourselves, and our painting sucked. It was the worst. But people loved it. We got a bathtub that we bought from a guy in Dubizzle and put it in the back of my truck. And we went at the Smash Room parking lot to spray paint the thing, because it was just an ugly white and gold bathtub, right? And we turned it into this art masterpiece that now sits, by the way, at our Atypical in 5 Design. If you want to go and have a look, it's a piece of history. Because at Bread, everybody was coming down there. It's like, oh my God, what is it? We filled it with those softballs.
Yeah.
So people can I actually get there? It's exactly what you want. What we want you to do. We want you to get inside.
Yeah.
It's actually comfy. Just don't stay there for too long, because others want to sit there. And we gave them a bubble gun. So imagine yourself like with that bubble gum there, inside the bathtub, in the middle of a parking lot in an event, and just living a moment of being a child, basically, because no, it's not for kids. So people are like, is it just for kids? No, it's not for kids. It's for adults. Yeah. So you gotta get in there and try it, and enjoy that moment. Just forget whatever bullshit people tell you to in a way to behave, or you're not supposed to do things just because of your age or because of your background or religion or whatever you come from. So and this is basically me as a person, and I try to do the same with the business that you see today. So the business is an extension of my personality. I said again in India when I was in Delhi, and the people there were like, basically you are a walking smash room. You're a walking example of your business. And I'm like, I didn't say that. They looked at us like, wow, what is this? Like, you're exactly, we don't need to put any sticker or something. If somebody needs to see the smash room, we just go and talk to you. And it's the same for Jokesaside, and it's gonna be the same. You're not gonna see anything that I would create that doesn't align with who I am today. I'm done doing that. And if something doesn't feel right to me, no matter what it is, no matter how much money it will bring or all of that stuff, I'm not gonna do it.
I think you would like to do something for long extended period of time, let's say 5 years, right? If you do not love it, it's very difficult to stick to something for that long.
Yeah.
So you need to find your pleasure in that somewhere or other. Or else you will not do for 4 to 5 years of your life.
No.
That's a huge amount of time.
Yeah, that's right. But then at the same time, you find people who got stuck in the same job for 20 years. And they're miserable at it. Or stuck in a marriage or in a relationship. And they don't want to exit just because they don't want to deal with the pain of leaving. Okay, it's interim, right? It could be a huge amount of pain, right? And a huge amount of discomfort. Leaving that job or leaving that relationship or whatever it is, or leaving that bad habit. But then, once you go through that pain, and you will go through it, it will not break you, but you will emerge stronger, and you will become a different person.
Right.
And will prepare you for the next level. It's always like you're unlocking a better version of yourself.
Right.
And this is like between me and myself. It's like I'm playing a game. I like, this is Ibrahim version 5.1, or version 6.
After every 2 months.
It's like, unlocking your potential always. The only competition is yourself.
Yeah, right.
So, and I know it's kind of a cliche, everybody says that, but it's true. Because if you compare to yourself to others, you are not going to go anywhere. It's just gonna kill your. There's always somebody who's done it better, bigger, whatever than you, but that's not the point. How can I become a better version of myself? How can I do things differently or better? How can I help others? How can I do something that makes me fulfilled, but at the same time help others find their fulfillment, or sort of like relate to what kind of message I'm trying to send.
People who have some creative ability of their own, and they're struggling right now to do something more productive for themselves, because money is not everything, but it allows you to keep things going for a long amount of time. What would you tell them? Where should they start? If you have any creative skill, how can you monetize it further?
That's it's a very good and a tricky question at the same time. Because I'm not somebody who will tell you, money is not everything. No, money is something. And the way I look at money is it's a tool that allows you to do the things that you enjoy in your life. So if you don't have it today, unfortunately, this is how the system is. So you either fight the system, which is useless, or play the game. So play the game, which is like, you gotta find ways to make money and use this money to create your own freedom. So I would basically find ways that things that I'm really good at, and try to basically sell it. So one of the biggest skills in life that people underestimate all the time is sales. And I believe that, you sell every day. You sell yourself in a way, like, you know what I mean, right? Constantly, every day. I'm talking to you right now, I'm selling myself, right? I'm selling the idea of who Ibrahim is, what's the lifestyle, all of that stuff, right? So whether we realize it or not, but people have that negative connection to sales. They say, sales, I hate sales. I don't want to. No, if we have to remove that. And if you always say you hate sales, chances you're not doing well in life. So this is something I have to maybe give an advice if I want to have to tell creatives, because they say, I don't want to be commercial. Yeah, okay, don't want to be commercial, but also people need to know who you are. So how the fuck do you think people would know about you if you are not doing anything about it? Cool. If you don't like doing a particular task or something, you can always delegate that. You can find a friend, you can find a person who can help you with that, or pay somebody to do that, whatever it is. And with today's economy, you can hire freelancers all over the world with whatever budget that you have. But I'd say if you have something, you're good at something, the world needs to know about it. And chances that our people would need that thing or whatever, whether it's a skill, it's a product, just get it out there and let the world see it. And this is how you start. It's no point for you to do something that you're not really enjoying. There's always a way to create something that you feel fulfilled, but at the same time that brings you also some sort of income. You don't have to, if becoming a billionaire or millionaire is not your thing, it's fine, but you gotta make a living. And it all starts from basically creating that thing, telling people about it, and figuring out, the ins and outs and who needs this product, who needs this service, and being there at the right time at the right place.
That's 100% right. And I think that's not something crazy, that's such a basic
Yeah.
thing, but it's so difficult to stick with that as well.
Exactly. Yeah. Because you could always think about it that, I need more time. There's I'm not I'm not having the traction that I want. But people give up too easily these days. And it's sad to see it. It's okay. It's smart sometimes to stop when but you gotta ask the question: did you try everything? Have you tried all these methods and ways? Did you try hard enough or not?
Yeah.
And if the question is no, I haven't tried everything yet, then you should keep going. But then sometimes it's also smart to cut your losses and okay, this shit is not working anymore. I have to find something else.
Just having healthy balance of being realistic and be unrealistic sometimes as well.
You gotta put yourself in check every now and then. And if you don't see it, you need to surround yourself with people who see that. And environment is very important. So whom you spend your time with is very, very important. We don't sometimes we take that for granted. And if there are people who would constantly put you down, even if these are your family, I'd say take a distance. Because eventually you're, again, another cliche, but you are the average of the 5 people that you surround yourself with or you spend the most time with. So if these 5 people are not where you want to be, you're going to be just another one of them. So let's say if you don't want to be an employee for a corporate job, but all your friends and the people that you spend time with are your colleagues from that job. You're most likely gonna be still doing the same thing, right? Because it's comfortable. This is all they talk about all the time. If you want to be in the creative field, you want to create things and make money out of it, then you start to hang out where these people are, and slowly you will become one of them as well.
That's a perfect way to end it.
Yeah. That's it.
Yes, really smooth. Wow,
Oh, God.
that was so fun.
Thank you. Yeah, I enjoyed this a lot.